Have you ever started your car by pressing the gas pedal? Or left the engine running for too long before driving? The truth is, how you start your car can have a huge impact on its longevity. Many drivers unknowingly cause damage to their engine with bad habits that can lead to costly repairs. Let's go over 10 things you should never do when starting your car. Let's get started. Starting your car with the accelerator pressed. It might seem like a good idea to press the accelerator while starting your car, especially on a cold morning. But this is actually a harmful habit. Many people believe that pushing the gas pedal can help the engine start quicker or warm it up faster. In reality, modern vehicles are designed to start without needing the accelerator pressed, and doing so can flood the engine with excess fuel. This extra fuel can damage the spark plugs, fuel injectors, and other essential components in your engine, leading to costly repairs. When you start your car with the accelerator pressed, the fuel flow is disrupted, causing a rich fuel mixture that leads to engine misfires and poor combustion. Over time, this unnecessary strain on your engine can lead to premature wear and tear on parts, significantly shortening their lifespan. Instead of pressing the accelerator, simply turn the key or press the start button, allowing the engine to fire up as it was designed to. This method ensures a smooth start without flooding the engine or causing stress on crucial components. If you want to give your engine the best start, avoid pressing the accelerator altogether and let the car's built-in sensors take care of the rest. This simple habit will help protect your engine from damage, extend its life, and save you from expensive repairs in the future. So, the next time you start your car, remember to keep your foot off the gas pedal and let the car do the work for you. Turning the key too quickly. When you're starting your car, it can be tempting to turn the key quickly to get the engine running as fast as possible. However, this rush can lead to long-term damage to your car's ignition system. Most modern vehicles have an electronic ignition system, which requires a brief moment to properly engage before the engine starts cranking. Turning the key too quickly, especially when you're in a hurry, can lead to unnecessary strain on the ignition switch, starter motor, and other critical components of the electrical system. The process of starting your car is more intricate than just turning the key. It involves several stages of electrical engagement. If you turn the key too fast, the car's components may not engage in the correct order, putting stress on the starter motor, which is responsible for initiating the engine's cranking motion. This could lead to premature wear or even starter failure, leaving you with expensive repair bills. Additionally, rushing through the starting process can cause other parts of the electrical system to malfunction. A slow and steady turn of the key is all it takes to ensure everything engages properly. Taking that extra moment allows the electrical system to warm up and function properly before the engine starts. So, next time you're starting your car, resist the urge to rush through the process. Give the key a steady turn and allow the ignition system to work as designed, preventing damage to your car's essential components and saving you money on future repairs. Ignoring the check engine light before starting. The check engine light is often ignored by many drivers, especially if the car starts and runs seemingly fine. However, failing to address a check engine light before starting your car can lead to much more serious issues down the road. That little warning light may seem like a minor inconvenience, but it is a signal from your car's computer that something is wrong. Ignoring it can result in worsening conditions that could cause significant engine damage. The check engine light can indicate a range of issues, from something as simple as a loose gas cap to more complex problems like a faulty oxygen sensor, a failing catalytic converter, or even a misfiring engine. If left unresolved, these issues can cause major damage to your car's engine, exhaust system, or fuel efficiency. Some problems, like a malfunctioning oxygen sensor, can lead to poor fuel economy and increased emissions. Others, like a faulty catalytic converter, can cause your car to fail emissions tests or even leave you stranded. By not paying attention to the check engine light, you're allowing the problem to potentially worsen, resulting in much more expensive repairs. It's always a good idea to get the issue diagnosed by a professional as soon as the light appears. The longer you wait, the more likely the problem will escalate. So, don't ignore the check engine light. Take it seriously and have your car inspected to prevent further damage and costly repairs down the road. Starting the car while the engine is still hot. Starting your car while the engine is still hot may seem harmless, but it can put significant strain on the engine components. When you turn on your vehicle immediately after a drive, the engine is still hot and the oil inside has not had time to cool and properly circulate. This can lead to a lack of lubrication, especially on critical engine parts like the pistons, valves, and bearings. The oil, which is responsible for keeping the moving parts of the engine cool and lubricated, will be thinner when it's hot, making it less effective. As a result, running the engine in these conditions can increase wear on the engine, leading to premature damage. Additionally, starting a hot engine can exacerbate issues like warped cylinders or excessive exhaust temperatures, which can cause further damage. To prevent this, it's important to let the engine cool down for a few minutes after a drive before restarting it. Allowing time for proper oil circulation ensures that the engine gets the lubrication it needs, reducing the risk of friction-related damage. It's also essential to give the car time to properly cool down when stopping at places like gas stations or parking lots. By avoiding starting your engine while it's still hot, you can extend the life of your vehicle and save yourself from costly repairs. Starting your car without fully releasing the parking brake. It's easy to forget about the parking brake when starting your car, but failing to fully release it can cause significant damage to several components in your vehicle. When the parking brake is engaged, even slightly, it creates friction between the brake pads and the braking system. This added resistance can place unnecessary strain on your car's braking system, transmission, and drivetrain. Over time, this can lead to excessive wear on the brake pads, brake cables, or even cause the brake pads to become stuck in place, making them less effective when you need them. Additionally, if the parking brake is not fully disengaged, it can create extra load on the transmission and drivetrain when you attempt to drive, especially if you are on an incline or trying to accelerate. The car may feel sluggish, and you may even hear a grinding or dragging noise from the rear wheels, indicating the parking brake is still engaged. This strain can put added pressure on the engine, making it work harder to move the vehicle, which is inefficient and can lead to unnecessary wear over time. Even if the car starts, driving with a partially engaged parking brake can impact fuel efficiency and performance. The engine is working harder to compensate for the drag, which over time can cause damage to key components, such as the transmission. It's important to always ensure the parking brake is fully released before starting your car, especially if you've been parked on a slope or incline. Taking the extra moment to check that the parking brake is off not only preserves your car's performance, but also prevents costly repairs down the road. This simple habit can save you a lot of trouble and keep your vehicle running smoothly. Cranking the engine for too long. Cranking the engine for too long is a common mistake many drivers make when their car doesn't start right away. While it might seem like the quickest solution, this habit can cause severe damage to both the starter motor and the battery. The starter motor is designed for brief engagement, typically only 5 to 10 seconds before disengaging. Prolonged cranking forces the motor to run longer than it was designed for, which can lead to overheating and eventual failure. Repeatedly attempting to start the engine can also drain the battery, especially if you don't give it a break between cranks. A drained battery will leave you stranded, further complicating the issue. If the car doesn't start after the first few attempts, it's best to stop cranking and give the system a moment to cool down before trying again. If the engine still refuses to start, it could indicate underlying issues like a dead battery, a clogged fuel filter, or a malfunctioning fuel pump. Continuing to crank the engine without addressing the core issue will only exacerbate the problem. Another risk of extended cranking is damage to the fuel system. If the engine is cranking but not firing, it might not be getting the proper fuel flow. The more you try, the more you risk damaging components like the fuel pump or injectors. Instead of repeatedly cranking the engine, take a step back and assess the situation. It's better to stop cranking and have the car professionally diagnosed if the issue persists. By doing so, you can prevent unnecessary wear and tear on your starter motor, preserve your battery's health, and avoid costly repairs down the line. Starting the car after letting it sit for too long. Letting your car sit unused for an extended period can cause a range of issues when you finally try to start it. Cars rely on a number of fluids to keep everything running smoothly, and when they sit idle for too long, these fluids can break down or settle. For instance, engine oil can become thick and lose its lubricating properties, leading to friction and increased wear when the car is started again. In addition, fuel can degrade over time, which can cause issues with the fuel system. If the car has been sitting for more than a few weeks, the fuel might go stale, resulting in poor combustion, misfires, and difficulty starting the engine. Another issue that arises from leaving a car idle for too long is the battery. Car batteries can lose charge when not in use, and if it's been sitting for months, it might not have enough power to start the engine. It's also common for tires to develop flat spots from sitting in one position for too long, which can lead to a bumpy or uncomfortable ride once the car is back on the road. To prevent these issues, it's a good idea to start your car at least once a week, allowing the engine and fluids to circulate. If you plan to leave your car idle for an extended period, consider using a battery tender or disconnecting the battery to prevent discharge. Regular maintenance and occasional driving will help keep your car in good condition and prevent costly repairs caused by prolonged disuse. Not letting the glow plugs warm up. Diesel engines. If you drive a diesel engine, skipping the warm-up time for the glow plugs can lead to serious long-term damage. Glow plugs are essential for starting a diesel engine, particularly in colder temperatures. They work by heating the air in the combustion chamber, which allows the fuel to ignite properly. If you don't give them time to warm up before starting the car, the engine may struggle to start, causing issues like misfires, rough idling, or even a complete failure to start. When you skip the glow plug warm-up, the diesel fuel doesn't burn as efficiently. This inefficiency can result in unburned fuel building up in the cylinders, which creates excess carbon deposits over time. These deposits can lead to significant damage to vital engine components, including the pistons, injectors, and even the glow plugs themselves. Repeatedly skipping this warm-up step can lead to poor engine performance, reduced fuel efficiency, and costly repairs that could have been avoided. Most modern diesel vehicles have a light on the dashboard that indicates when the glow plugs are ready. This small but crucial step ensures that your engine starts properly and runs smoothly. In colder weather, it's especially important to allow this process to complete, as it ensures a cleaner and more efficient start. By allowing the glow plugs to warm up, you're not only helping the engine run more efficiently, but you're also protecting it from unnecessary damage and expensive repairs in the future. Attempting to start the car multiple times in a row. When your car doesn't start on the first try, it's tempting to keep turning the key or pressing the start button, thinking it will eventually catch. However, repeatedly trying to start the car can cause significant damage to the starter motor and the battery. Each time you turn the key, the starter motor engages, and excessive attempts can quickly put unnecessary strain on it. This can lead to the motor overheating or failing prematurely. In addition to damaging the starter motor, continuously attempting to start the car drains the battery. Every time you turn the key, the battery is used to power the starter motor. If the engine doesn't start after several tries, the battery can become weak or even completely drained, leaving you with a car that still won't start and a dead battery that may need to be replaced. Beyond the starter and battery, multiple attempts to start the car could also indicate an underlying problem, like a faulty ignition system, fuel delivery issue, or spark plug malfunction. If the engine doesn't start after the first attempt, it's better to take a moment to investigate or call for assistance rather than risking further damage. If your car isn't starting after 1 or 2 attempts, it's wise to stop and check for obvious issues like a weak battery or other engine problems. Trying to start the car repeatedly without addressing the root cause is a surefire way to make a bad situation worse, leading to more expensive repairs down the road. Taking a pause and properly diagnosing the problem will save you time, money, and the frustration of more severe damage. Starting the car in gear, manual transmission. Starting a manual transmission car while it's still in gear is a dangerous mistake that can lead to serious damage to your vehicle and potentially cause an accident. When you attempt to start the engine while the car is in gear, the drivetrain is directly engaged. This sudden engagement can cause the engine to turn over unexpectedly, resulting in a violent jolt or, worse, the car lurching forward, which can lead to a loss of control, especially if you're parked on an incline. Not only does this pose a significant safety risk, but it can also damage essential components of your car. The starter motor, which is designed to work when the car is in neutral, will face unnecessary stress if the car is in gear. This can lead to premature wear or failure of the starter motor over time. The clutch is also at risk because starting the car in gear forces the drivetrain to move when it's not meant to. This unnecessary force can cause faster wear on the clutch, reducing its lifespan. In addition to the damage it can cause, starting your car in gear can create an unnecessary risk of the car moving unexpectedly, especially if you're parked on a slope, potentially leading to accidents or damage to nearby property. Taking the extra moment to double-check that your car is in neutral not only prevents damage to your starter motor and clutch, but also reduces the risk of your car lurching forward and creating a safety hazard. This simple habit can extend the life of your car's critical components and prevent costly repairs down the line. Now that you know the key mistakes to avoid when starting your car, you can keep your engine running smoothly and avoid costly repairs down the road. Remember, a little care in how you start your car can save you big in the long run. If you found these tips helpful, drop a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more car care advice.